back to my channel. My name is Emily, and if you're new here, I'd love it if you guys stick around by subscribing. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about how Madison and I keep track of inventory for our boutique and where we buy our wholesale items. So if you haven't seen my last two videos, I actually talk about how we got the boutique started, the steps that we took, and the last video I talked about the products and items that Madison and I have purchased in order to get our boutique up and running. So to start off, I want to talk about inventory because I kind of made this one up on my own for our boutique. I didn't necessarily look up the best way to track inventory, but this is something that has definitely worked for us for the past year and a half. So I wanted to share with you guys how I did it. So like I said, I didn't have a specific guideline to tell me how to keep track of all of our inventory that was going to come in. So I took it upon myself to just get on Google Docs because that's how Madison and I share everything. So it's easier to go back and forth because we can both look at it through there. And on Excel, I decided to create an inventory spreadsheet for us. So if you're familiar with Excel, you know at the bottom you can add as many tabs as you want, and each tab for us is every company that we purchase from, just so we didn't have to keep it all on one spreadsheet because that would be super long and super impossible to get through. Because we buy so many different items from each company, so we wanted to keep that as best organized as we could. To go a little bit more in detail within each tab, so like I said, each tab has the company name, and then I have my journal right here with my notes. So at the top I highlighted everything in yellow, so like the main title parts, and I started with the name of the product. So this is what we're gonna put within Shopify. And then also the size of the items, because it's either too small, too medium, or too large, or even some companies will sell you like one small, three medium, one large, or one small, one medium, one large. So it just really depends who you're buying from. The next is quantity. So like I said, it's usually 2, 2, and 2, but then sometimes we'll order multiples in one item. So we could buy 4 small, 4 medium, and 4 large. So we just want to keep track of everything that we have coming in. The next is the price, and for the price it's going to be the wholesale, so what we pay for it. And then next to the wholesale price we put how much of percentage we're gonna mark up our item to sell it. And then after that we have our retail price, so what we're actually selling the item for. So I broke it down this way just so we understood how much money we were gonna make off that item. So it's good, like I said, it's gonna be our wholesale price, what we paid for it. I call it commission, what percentage we're gonna add to mark up the item, and then what we're actually selling it for. And then the next thing is going to be the SKU. Now this, obviously, when you get items in, you're going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. The best thing about Shopify for us, it keeps track for it. So whenever we add a new item, so it'll automatically do like item 1, 1, 2, 3. And then next item, it'll start it again. You have to input the number that's next. So this is the only thing, Shopify doesn't automatically input the number. Maybe they do, I just haven't been able to figure it out. So I know I stopped on 3 last time, so I'll start at 4, and then it'll add 5, 6, and then again 7. So the way I keep track of this is, like I said, with the Google Docs on Excel. So I'll just look at the last number, the company that we bought from last, that I inputted the last number. So I think we're up to like 500, 600. So I have to remember 687. All right, so I have to start the next product, 688, and then Shopify will input it. So then I'll just continue from there. These next few columns that I decided to add, I added these in, I want to say a couple months ago. Like I said, I did not have a specific template that I was basing off everything that I was putting into the Excel spreadsheet. So I decided to add ordered, so the amount that we ordered, because sometimes we would do either when we go to market, we'd buy 1 round of clothes and then it sold so good that we had to go back on the website and order more. So instead of making another tab for that same item, I would just add like second quantity coming in or something like that. The next thing I added was status. So like I just said, we would order sometimes a second round of the same item. So when we first order it, I would put ordered, and then when it was on its way, shipped, and then when we would finally receive it, I would put received. So just so Madison and I could keep track of all the items, because if you see my previous videos, Madison sometimes doesn't go to market with me, or I will purchase this stuff online. So whenever it gets purchased, I'll put ordered, and then so she can see it, like, okay, perfect, order's in. And then the next part, that it's on its way, and then that by the time that she receives it, because she receives all our products, I'll know that it's in. And the last thing that I added to our Excel spreadsheet was the date. So as I previously mentioned, how I put like the orders and the status of the items, I also put dates that we purchased it, just so we know that if some item that we were promised is going to take 3 weeks to get here has now been a month and a half. It's happened, where the order has been on back order, so we can't necessarily get our stuff like promptly when they said. Or another instance that we ran into, I believe with this specific company, too many people ordered that item, so whoever ordered it first got first dibs. So we kind of ordered it from the last pile, so we had to wait an extra month, which was absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, it happens, so you have to find a way to move around that stuff and keep track of your inventory. So that's just the way Madison and I keep track of our inventory. I'm sure there's people out there that have created templates, probably another software or website that you can keep track of stuff. But like I said, everything Madison and I do, we try to keep it at a minimum with buying and paying for stuff. So I literally put my brain to Excel and did the best I could. It has worked for us. It helps us keep track of everything. And this is mainly for us to write down everything that we've ordered, just so we know that we bought a turtleneck sweater, pink, in too small to medium, too large, cost X, Y, and Z. We're selling it for X, Y, and Z. We ordered it this day, we got it this day, blah, blah, blah. But then for like another company, we ordered another turtleneck sweater that's mustard. So again, we have to do that. So it's just so much easier than actually physically looking at the products and then just hopping on Excel and looking at, okay, we have 2 different turtleneck sweaters from 2 different companies coming in, and we saw what we got, what we didn't get, and what's still pending. So like I said, this is something that has worked for us personally. I love it. If you guys ever give it a try, let me know how it works for y'all. If you find a completely different way to keep track of inventory, I'd love for you guys to share that with me. Now, another thing that has helped us keep track of inventory is Shopify. And like I mentioned in my first video talking about the boutique, Shopify is a website that helps you basically create your own website. And Shopify is the absolute best. None of this is sponsored. I'm just speaking this out of experience, because this is what Madison and I run our online business through. And it has been absolute amazing thing we came across. I'm sure there's other websites that have this too, but Shopify has just worked for us and we've stuck with it. So another amazing thing about Shopify is they actually already keep track of your inventory, because you have to input your inventory in order for it to be uploaded onto your website. So you don't necessarily need to do the Google Docs, Excel, and all that stuff. I just wanted to share that with you guys, because when Madison and I first got inventory, we had no idea how we were going to keep track of everything. So like I said, I just did it myself, and then we would transfer everything on to Shopify. So I guess it's just kind of a really good way to keep track of items, make sure everything is being listed correctly. So we'll start with Google Docs, and then we'll move on to Shopify and make sure everything is uploaded. So one thing that Shopify does, it definitely makes it a lot simpler, I would say. So it asks you for your product name, because you need to list your item under something on your website. It asks you for pictures so you can display your items. It will ask you for sizes, the price amount, quantity, how many items you're inputting, and then the SKUs. So like I said, Shopify will automatically create SKUs for you. You just need to remember where you left off. So like I said, you'll start with 1 and it'll add 2 and 3. And then when you're creating another item, you'll start off with 4 and it'll add 5 and 6 and so on. So that's what I really love about it, that it just keeps track of everything. So you really don't need to do the Google Docs. I'm just an organized freak and need to have everything either on pen on paper, like on a spreadsheet, Google Docs. Like I will talk about that later, you guys. And then one last thing, like every other website that you see, for example, Forever 21, they'll put the name of the item, the price, the size, and then it'll put a small description. So if it's cotton, stretchy, yada, yada, yada. So it definitely asks you that as well on Shopify. So it'll give you a little place to put your description. And what Madison and I personally do, we try to write as much information, because if people are buying online, they can't physically feel the item. So we want them to know every detail that we can give them on our item. And since Madison and I do try on the clothes to take the pictures, we'll put the sizes. So for example, I am 5'7", so I'll put model is 5'7", wearing a small in shirt and then a medium in pants or something like that, just to be more specific to people so they know if they're 5'5", like maybe they need to get the same size. Or sometimes I'll wear, like I said, I'll wear medium in pants, so if they need to size down because of the length and their pants, they know to go for a small instead of a medium. So yeah, I think I hit all the points with how we track inventory and how Shopify helps you track inventory. It honestly has been, like I said, trial and error with everything. I think when I first started the Excel spreadsheet, I literally had probably like price, size, and quantity. That's it. It's like 3 or 4 items. And then I was like, wait, I have to figure out a way to make this more specific with detail. So I slowly added like how much we're hiking up the price, how much we're actually selling it for. And then like I said, I added when we ordered stuff, the status of it coming in, and then the date that we ordered it. So it's definitely DIY, like do it all on your own, figure out what works best for you. Like I said, if my techniques kind of help y'all, let me know. I love to get feedback and more input. How can I improve on everything? So yeah, let me know. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys today is about wholesale. That was literally the $1 million question Madison and I had. Where the heck are we gonna get clothes from? Because this is something that I noticed isn't really talked about, and I definitely understand why, because that's like every company, boutique, online website, that's like their secret recipe. And it is our secret recipe, because we don't want to basically say every single place that we get our clothes from. Now, the tags do still say where the clothes are from, but like I said, we tag with our name, Roses in Texas. And like I mentioned before, you can even like put your own label on the clothing, but that costs so much money. So it's not something that we're currently doing, but we hope to do in the future. Now, where can you buy wholesale? So I think I literally went on Google one day and like entered, where can I buy clothing for my online store? Very specific, broad question, I would say, because Google isn't gonna tell you like, if you need clothes for your company, this is where you can get them. I mean, it might, but it won't tell you specifically the names of companies. It'll kind of tell you where you can find them. So I honestly don't even remember how Madison and I ended up figuring it out. I didn't even know it was called Wholesale, if I'm being honest. I think something popped up on Google that helped me figure out like company names. I know Madison and I discovered that they actually have a Dallas market center here, and they do, I want to say probably 4 times within a year, they do wholesale accounts. So like if you saw my previous video, probably my second or third one, I did a buying vlog for the boutique. So that's what the Dallas market center is. You go for that specific one, you go on the 12th floor and all the vendors are there. So like I said, I went a day and it took me probably like 5 or 6 hours, which you have to dedicate a whole day to this place, because you have to look through everything, compare prices, compare items, see what's in, see what's selling for your boutique. So it does take a while. So that's why I had to go back a second day to make more purchases, but it's honestly so worth it. Like I still remember the first day Madison and I went, we were like, wow, like it was amazing how many people were there. Some people thought we were overwhelmed. We were just very excited because we had just started our boutique. We were there to buy clothes, and it's just an amazing experience. So you don't necessarily have to go to a vendor where they sell wholesale accounts. I didn't know this but until after we went to the Dallas market, but I did find something online called LA Showroom. Now this, you do have to create an account like you would be creating an account with any other wholesaler. So in order to create an account, I know you need obviously your company name, your name, the business owner's name, You need your EIN. That's why it's very important that you get that. And also some of them ask for your sales and tax number too. I'm trying to think what else they ask for, but I know those are the main ones because they have to make sure that you're verified and it's actually a company that's selling clothing. And within LA showroom, honestly, when I found it, it was like heaven sent. Like, this LA showroom literally is like a virtual wholesaler vendor account. Like, you can see every single company that sells wholesale items. Now, the thing with them, I think you shop through LA showroom, but then it connects you to the company's account. So I don't know if you specifically have to have an account with them in order to buy stuff from LA showroom. I think you might have to, now that I'm thinking about it. But the best thing is that you come across all these companies that sell wholesale and you can pick and choose what you want to buy. And even you can even grab names, companies that you like their clothes and you want to see them in person when other like market dates come around. So that's what Madison and I definitely did. We found a couple cute clothes in LA showroom and we just grabbed the company name because we knew market was coming up, and we visited them in person. And one more thing I wanted to share with you guys is, I think this is the biggest market that you can go to is the one in Vegas. Now, obviously this is going to cost more money. Madison and I have not gone yet, but I can't wait for the day that we get to go. I just love seeing other owners that go to Vegas and shop around. They kind of do like little sneak peeks too, but I just love seeing like how excited they are to be there. And I literally always tell Madison, like, I cannot wait for the day that we head to Vegas to shop for our boutique. Like, it's a dream. I think I covered everything for you guys. Not sure how long this video is gonna be, but I definitely touched on everything I wanted to talk about today. So just to recap, how I track inventory on a spreadsheet, and then how Shopify can help you track of inventory as well, and wholesale. Now, obviously I didn't show you guys where we buy our stuff because that's our little secret, but if you can see in the background, this is a couple of things, a couple new items, a couple old items that we still have. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate and ask them. I always try to respond to everybody, and thank you so much for tuning in today. Bye guys.